ओके, सो बेसिकली जो है हम लोग देखेंगे पॉलिटी के बारे में। ओके, सो दिस क्लास विल बी डेडिकेटेड टू जस्ट गिव यू एन ओवरव्यू ऑन हाउ टू स्टडी पॉलिटी। और थोड़ा बहुत हम लोग जो है GS2 का भी डिस्कशन करेंगे कि कैसे प्रीलिम्स का कंटेंट यूज करके यूजिंग प्रीलिम्स कंटेंट यू कैन राइट GS2 आंसर्स। ओके, एंड दैट इज वेरी पॉसिबल। ओके, दैट इज वेरी वेरी मच पॉसिबल। ऑल राइट, सो one thing that I can tell you is that it is, if there is any topic or any subject rather, जहां पर you can score 90% of the marks, that will be polity. Okay, and it has been my experience since 2021 that polity is very very doable. There was one aberration in 2023, otherwise in 2022, 2024, for the past these 4 years, 3 years, polity was very much doable. Polity was very, very much doable. 2023 में there was problems, okay, because UPSC has diverted from its course. Okay, we can say like this. So my experience till now has been only bad in 2023 prelims. Baki ke समय I was able to do 90% of the question with accuracy, and that too after reading only Lakshmikant and nothing else. I never read DD Basu. I never read Subhash Kashyap. Okay, but still I was able to solve 90% of the questions. And उसके पीछे का एक reason है, वो मैं reason आपको बताता हूँ. I'll just tell you the reason. It is the reason is that I treat the constitution as the syllabus. Do you understand what I just said? Treating the constitution as the syllabus. The articles of the constitution will become your topics. अगर आप you are not treating the constitution as your syllabus, you are bound to leave important topics. Okay, and because of this, okay, this is something that I have realized after making mistake in the examination, that if you are not treating the constitution as the syllabus and the articles of the constitution as the topics for your examination, तो फिर गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. देन दैट विल बी अ प्रॉब्लम. इसको बिल्कुल मैं आपको बताता हूं क्या मैं कहना चाह रहा हूं. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, you are reading, okay, you picked up a book, a course book. Let us say you picked up a course book and you have started reading it. Okay, you started reading it, and you are reading one chapter, you are reading two chapter, you are reading three chapters. So the problem is that we do not have discipline to read a book end to end. आप में से बहुत लोग कहेंगे मैंने एंड टू एंड पढ़ा है, आई हैव रेड द बुक एंड टू एंड, बट हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू कैन ऑनेस्टली क्लेम and hand to your heart, tell me that you have read the book end to end? कभी ना कभी your topics are left out. Okay, because of this problem only, you are not reading the things end to end, you are struggling. Okay, so let me just say that you have picked a book, and that book is of polity, और उसमें से आप चैप्टर वाइज कंप्लीट कर रहे हो, एक चैप्टर, दो चैप्टर, तीन चैप्टर. सो उस चैप्टर में भी suppose there is one chapter, there are sub parts. Okay, there are what? There are multiple sub parts. Okay, so इस चीज को आपको ध्यान रखना. You have to keep this in mind. But when you are treating the articles of the constitution as your topics, you are not going to lose out on a single topic. Never ever in the examination hall you will be surprised by a question. I can guarantee you this. Obviously, governance का जो portion है, that is different. because polity में you will be set. Governance में we will have to put some effort outside. But in the polity, I can guarantee you. How many of you know this fact that Lakshmikant, which is the considered the Bible for polity of UPSC, this Lakshmikant is a direct summary of the constitution. Word to word summary है ये. Whatever is written in the constitution, it has just been condensed and वही लक्ष्मीकांत हो गया. ओके, सो ये चीज को ध्यान में रखिएगा. देखिए मैं बोल क्यों रहा हूं, just try to understand from my point of view why I am saying that treat the articles as the topic, not from the books. Why? Because in Lakshmikant, either you are going to leave chapters, or you are going to leave sub-topic within the chapter. Do you understand what I just said? ये चीज आपको समझ आई. आइदर आप तो पूरा चैप्टर खा जाएंगे, यू विल बेसिकली पूरे चैप्टर को आप मिस कर देंगे, या विद इन द चैप्टर देयर विल बी सर्टेन सब टॉपिक्स दैट यू आर गोइंग टू मिस. Because at the beginning of the lecture, I told you that from 2020, okay, since many of us are giving this exam from 2020, so 2020, 2021, 2022, 23 and 24, we are now in the 25th year. So 1, 2, 3 और 4, पिछले 5 साल में 4 years, in the last 5 years, 4 years you can solve the paper using लक्ष्मीकांत. लेकिन फिर भी क्यों नहीं हो रहा है आपकी लक्ष्मीकांत जो है, योर लक्ष्मीकांत, एवरीबडी here present who is present here, they have a Lakshmikant at home. Am I right to assume that everybody has a Lakshmikant? If not in the hardbound form, you will have in the soft copy at least. Yes. So आपकी लक्ष्मीकांत के पेजेस फट गए हैं एंड आप जो हैं उसको इतने अंडरलाइन कर रही हो और अंडरलाइनिंग इट लाइक एनीथिंग, and because of that the pages are coming off. But still when you appear for the preliminary examination, you are not able to solve it. Why? Because of these two factors that I told you, that you lack the discipline, because you are a human, my dear friend. You lack the discipline to study end to end. Okay, so koi na koi chapter, and if you are completing all the chapters, some texts within the chapters, some subheadings, some subtopics within the chapters are getting lost. And because of this, you are losing out on 3, 4, 5 questions. And trust me, with the kind of paper that we are having, with the kind of questions in ancient history and the kind of questions in ecology and current affairs, it is a sin. ये पाप है. It is a sin that you are leaving questions in polity. मैं पहले ही कह रहा हूं आपको, unless and until it is an abnormal year that the polity is very tough, or the modern history is very tough, or the economics is very tough, so then we will leave it. But in a normal, in an average year, the maximum scoring can happen from polity, modern history, and economics. So these 3 pillars will ensure that you will have maximum number. सबसे ज्यादा नंबर कहां पर उड़ते हैं लोगों के? एंशियंट एंड मेडिवल और ज्योग्राफी प्लस इन्वायरमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी. ओके, सो दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. यहां पर अगर मैं 16 में से एटलीस्ट 14 सही कर लूं, विच इज ह्यूमनली पॉसिबल even in this next 3 months, it is humanly possible to at least do 14, 15 correct out of 16, 17. ओके, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में चलिए 4 क्वेश्चन आते हैं तो 4 में से 4 आप कर सकते हैं. नहीं भी है तो 75% एटलीस्ट यू कैन डू if you are thorough with your spectrum or your any handouts or whatever have been provided to you. Economics में भी the same thing is there. If they are asking 15 question, easily 13, 14 are doable. Unless and until it is an abnormal year where economics is too tough, where modern history is too tough, where polity is too tough, then हम छोड़ देंगे उसको. Then our our understanding would be different. हम कहीं और टारगेट करेंगे. बट आई एम टेलिंग इन एन एवरेज ईयर फ्रॉम व्हाट हैज बीन हैपनिंग सिंस द लास्ट 10 years that the ancient medieval are tough, the geography is a bit tougher, and environment in ecology is on also on the tougher side. ओके. सो ये जो है आपको एकदम दिमाग में रखना है, दैट पॉलिटी जो है उसमें एक भी क्वेश्चन आइडियली गलत नहीं होना चाहिए अनलेस एंड अनटिल यूपीएससी हैज मेड इट टू टफ. ओके. अब यहां पर हम बात करते हैं सोर्सेज के बारे में. तो सोर्सेज एक चीज मैं आपको बता देता हूं, हैंडआउट्स ऑब्वियसली विल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू यू, एंड हैंडआउट्स दे विल बी इनफ. इट विल बी मेड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लक्ष्मीकांत एंड डीडी बसु. तो हैंडआउट्स में दो किताबें मैं यूज कर रहा हूं, लक्ष्मीकांत एंड डीडी बसु. आई हैव प्रोवाइडेड ऑलरेडी दिस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया बुक. थोड़ा सा इसको आफ्टर द क्लास यू कैन टेक अ लुक, पलट के आप देख सकते हैं. लक्ष्मीकांत एंड डीडी बसु विल बी यूज्ड टू मेक योर हैंडआउट्स. ओके, सो यू कैन बी अश्योर्ड. अब यहां पर है कि हम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अगर उसको एज अ सिलेबस मान रहे हैं, सो दिस विल बी कवरिंग 70% of our syllabus. 70% of syllabus is covered here when we are thorough with the constitutional articles. अगर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के एक एक आर्टिकल से आप वाकिफ हैं, इफ आई आस्क यू व्हाट इज आर्टिकल 108, तुरंत मुंह से निकलना चाहिए अच्छा ये है ज्वाइंट सिटिंग. अच्छा, आर्टिकल 123 क्या है? अच्छा ये है. आर्टिकल 213 क्या है? जस्ट उसका उल्टा. ओके, समझ गया मैं. उसके बाद मैं पूछूं आर्टिकल 148 से 151 में किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? ओके, कैग की बात कर रहे हैं. अगर ऐसा आपको पता है तो 70% ऑफ योर सिलेबस इज ओवर. 70% ऑफ योर सिलेबस इज ओवर. एंड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइमर्स जिनका पहला अटेम्प्ट है और हु आर स्टार्टिंग देयर प्रिपरेशन, उनके लिए दिस इज अ मेजर कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट. इफ यू हैव कमांड ओवर पॉलिटी, दिस प्रोवाइड्स यू विथ ए मेजर कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट. Take it from me, take it from your friends who are present here, who have been giving this examination for the past 3-4 years, that polity पे, okay, polity पे अगर hold हो जाए आपकी, if you are having hold over polity, this is a major confidence booster. okay, ये मैंने आपको बता दिया. सोर्सेज आप कहां से कर सकते हो. हैंडआउट्स आर इनफ, एंड हैंडआउट्स विल बी सेटल्ड नॉट इन 15 days, क्योंकि पॉलिटी जनरली हम देख रहे हैं 18 फरवरी तक खत्म करने का, 17-18 फरवरी तक. बट हैंडआउट्स विल बी गिवन टू यू बिफोर हैंड, मतलब मोस्ट प्रोबेबली 9th to 10th Feb तक हैंडआउट्स विल बी सेटल्ड एंड अ कंपाइलेशन विल बी गिवन. ओके, हैंडआउट्स जो है आपका वो सेटल हो जाएगा, कंपाइलेशन आपको दे दिया जाएगा. ठीक है. दूसरी चीज है, इसके साथ साथ व्हाट एल्स आर देयर, तो उसके इसके साथ साथ पॉलिटी के लिए गवर्नेंस पोर्शन इज ऑल्सो देयर. सो गवर्नेंस पोर्शन के लिए वी रीड सम कमिटी रिपोर्ट्स. ओके, सो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एआरसी जो है, ओके, एआरसी जो है एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म कमीशन, तो इसका एक फर्स्ट रिपोर्ट है विच केम बैक इन द 1960s, and then there is a second ARC report which came in 2005. okay, so ये जो है 2004-2005, so ARC के जो रिपोर्ट्स हैं उसको भी आपको देखना है. ऑलराइट, उसको भी आपको देखना है. फर्स्ट ARC से क्वेश्चन आ चुका है बाय द वे. दे हैड आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन इन 2021 प्रीलिम्स. तो व्हाट वी कैन डू इज दैट उसका समरी हम पढ़ सकते हैं. वी कैन रीड अ समरी ऑफ दीज कमिटीज. ओके, उसके बाद पॉलिटी का क्या करंट अफेयर्स होता है? बिल्कुल होता है. सो व्हाट इज पॉलिटी करंट अफेयर्स? इट इज द एक्ट्स एंड बिल्स पास्ड. ओके, सो एक्ट्स एंड बिल्स जो कि पास हुआ था, जैसे वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन का वी हैड अ क्लास आई थिंक लास्ट वीक ओनली. सो एक्ट्स एंड बिल्स पास्ड यू कैन डू अप टू 12 to 18 months. देखिए होता क्या है, what speculation is there that suppose people came in 2023, a group of professors came and they were making the questions. Okay, so they gave UPSC 100 question bank of polity. Okay, and this is a speculation that has been going around. I'm just relaying it to you. What happens sometimes is that UPSC selects 15 to 18 questions from this question bank and then keeps the rest of the questions with it. Okay, sometimes what happens that some news which are relevant not 12 months but 18 months before, they find their way into the whole thing. Okay. So there are certain contemporary issues. Now, what are these contemporary issues? कंटेम्प्रेरी इश्यूज का ये मतलब होता है दैट समथिंग विच इज कंटिन्यूअसली इन द न्यूज. It was in the news in 2018, it was in the news in 2021, and then again it is in the news in 2025. Can you give me an example that it has been continuously in the news? It is ONOE, One Nation, One Election. Okay. Now somebody, अगर कोई कहेगा इसमें कि let us say that क्या 2022 का और 2021 का और 2020 का भी बिल्स एंड एक्ट्स हमें पढ़ना है, I'll say don't study. Why? See, UPSC had asked a question about digital public key infrastructure. Okay. So public key infrastructure पे क्वेश्चन था. This was there in the news in 2014, and then UPSC asked this question in 2020. Okay. So do you think that it is humanly possible that you read 6 years of worth of current affairs? You read 6 years worth of current affairs for one question just to get one question right. So the answer is no. This is a very poor return of investment. आपको मैंने पहले ही बताया है दैट ऑन एन एनी गिवन डे यू कैन लीव एनीवेयर फ्रॉम 15 to 20 क्वेश्चंस. अगर पेपर टफ भी है तो आप और ज्यादा छोड़ सकते हैं, 25 से 30 तक छोड़ सकते हैं. पेपर इजी है, स्टिल यू कैन लीव 15 to 20 क्वेश्चन. देन व्हाई गो, ओके, गो सो मच बैक फॉर करंट अफेयर्स? टेक्निकली 2020, लेट अस टेक 24, ओके, जनवरी से लेके 2025 मार्च. ओके, मार्च भी थोड़ा सा स्ट्रेच है, आई विल से फेब्रुअरी विल बी बेटर बिकॉज पेपर तब तक बन जाता है. सो 2024 जनवरी से लेके 2025 मार्च, जस्ट टू बी ऑन द सेफर साइड, उस टाइम के अगर आप पॉलिटी कंपाइलेशंस कर सकते हैं, इफ यू कैन डू द पॉलिटी कंपाइलेशंस, इफ यू कैन डू द एक्ट्स, बेयर एक्ट्स, सो दैट विल बी फंटास्टिक. एक आपको मैं साइट बता देता हूं, PRS. हैव यू गाइज हर्ड अबाउट दिस साइट? यू कैन चेक ऑन योर फोन्स इफ यू हैव दैट. PRS लेजिस्लेचर का एक वेबसाइट है. यस, सो PRS जो है वहां पर बिल्स एंड एक्ट्स का एक कॉलम है. Bills and Acts के column, go there and there will be summary of the bills and acts. Don't read the entire thing. The entire thing is not for you. The entire thing is for the babus and the parliamentarians. जब बाबू बन जाइएगा तब पढ़ सकते हैं आप. अभी के लिए जो है, अभी के लिए for now, I'll say that bills and acts में the PRS people they provide you with summary. और वो जो समरी है उसको आप निकाल निकाल के पढ़ सकते हैं. एवरी डे 3 articles विल बी इनफ. 3 acts rather, not articles. 3 acts shall be enough. ओके, और वो जो है यू कैन इजिली रीड दैट. तो ये जो है बेसिकली दिस विल इंश्योर दैट यू आर एबल टू, ओके, आंसर at least 80 to 90% of the questions. And I tell you that polity जो है, this polity is very crucial. Why? Because high amount of questions are doable. I cannot promise you in ancient and medieval. There will be a chance, there is a possibility that ancient and medieval, you are, after reading for 1 month, you are able to do zilch. Why? Because कहीं से भी उठा के पूछ रहे हैं. ओके, कोई भी जैन मुनि के बारे में कुछ भी उसी के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं, ठीक है. बट पॉलिटी आई एम 100% श्योर ऑन अ बैडेस्ट ऑफ डेज you will be able to answer 70%. Even in 2023, 70% of the questions could have been done. Okay, if you had medium level of preparation. Okay. उसके साथ साथ you have to study about any kind of recent amendments. अभी जैसे है 106th CAA न्यूज में है, तुरंत 106th CAA पास हुआ था. Very soon in 2024 prelims, UPSC asked the question. You guys remember? UPSC immediately UPSC asked the question. सो ऑल द रिसेंट अमेंडमेंट्स यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड. ओके, अब जैसे ये डॉक्यूमेंट है, इसको आपको कैसे यूज करना है. यू ऑल हैव दिस हैज बीन अपलोडेड ऑन द ग्रुप. सो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, अ लूसिड एंड सिंपल एक्सप्लेनेशन. नीचे आएंगे हम. 334 आर्टिकल, एक आर्टिकल्स के हिसाब से है. विल जस्ट स्क्रोल इट डाउन. और हमें पता है कि 106, ये देखिए, 106 अमेंडमेंट एक्ट जो है, दिस इज हेयर. And this article pertains to the reservation of seats for women in the Lok Sabha, state legislative assemblies and the legislative assemblies of NCT Delhi. So ये आप जो है प्रोविजन सारा पढ़ लेंगे. आपको हैंडआउट्स का भी वेट करने का जरूरत नहीं है ऐसे तो. टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, हैंडआउट्स विल बी व्हाट? हैंडआउट्स आर व्हाट? लक्ष्मीकांत इज व्हाट? डीडी बसु इज व्हाट? Merely commentary, merely summary of your constitution. ओके. सो यहां से जो है, आप अगर बोलेंगे कि मुझे पहले ही पढ़ना है, लेट अस से दैट यू आर सेइंग दैट आई हैव टू रीड इट टुडे ओनली. आई डोंट वांट टू वेट टिल 10th of February फॉर द हैंडआउट्स. सो यू कैन इजीली कम हियर. आर्टिकल 334 ए, एवरीथिंग इज रिटन. दिस इज जस्ट ए कमेंट्री ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. एंड यहीं से यूपीएससी, इफ यू विल लुक, सी, रिजर्वेशन फॉर women विल cease to have effect 15 year after its commencement. Okay, so UPSC used this as a fact to trouble you in the 2024 prelims. जो आएगा वो आपके कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से ही आएगा. वट एवर हैज बीन इंक्लूडेड इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, उसी से यूपीएससी पूछेगा. पॉलिटी, देर इज नो सिलेबस, प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस. पॉलिटी का कोई सिलेबस नहीं है. इट इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया विच कंस्टिट्यूट्स एटलीस्ट 70% ऑफ द सिलेबस. आफ्टर दैट देर आर सम पोर्शंस ऑफ गवर्नेंस which constitute some committees. Then there are non-constitutional bodies. Non-constitutional bodies like NHRC, okay, National Commission of Women, all these are there. Then there are certain acts and bills. So what is the difference? Acts matlab ho chuka hai. Acts means it has been done, and bills mean it will be done. There is a difference. Act means the provisions are already in power, whereas bills mean it will be done once it will receive the assent of the president. Okay. What I want you to do, one thing more is that today just take 25 minutes of your time and sit with Lakshmikant, open this document on your laptop or your tablet, and just match the name of the chapters and the articles in this book, and you will realize what I'm saying. The day you have hold on the articles is the day your polity will be completed. I can guarantee you for this fact. दूसरी चीज क्या है? Why this is important, why I'm saying that the hold on the constitution is so important, is because of GS2. Okay. You know nothing. Let us assume in the GS2 paper, approximately 100 numbers are dedicated to polity, 75 numbers are dedicated to governance, and further 75 numbers are dedicated to IR. ऊपर नीचे होते रहता है 10-15 number, that doesn't matter, but generally the split is this. In the polity section, this article quoting can become a very solid introduction. Okay, so maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but जो law पढ़ते हैं, the people who study law, they are also required to quote articles and quote the cases, okay, in their examination, right? So उसी तरीके से अगर आप लिखेंगे तो the examiner, he will have an impression that okay, this person knows his stuff. I'll just give you an example. Suppose there is a question on, let us say, attorney general, AG के ऊपर है. Attorney general, there is a question, and you don't know where to start, but you know that okay, article 76 of the Indian Constitution, it provides for the office of the AG. For you, it is a very, very basic introduction. But for the examiner, this tells that, oh, this person knows from which article AG is taken out. Okay, so it is possible that he knows what he has written in this AG answer for 2 pages or 3 pages. Okay, suppose they have asked you about the fundamental rights. नहीं समझ आ रहा, कुछ नहीं समझ आ रहा कैसे इंट्रोडक्शन लिखना है. यू डोंट हैव टू राइट एनीथिंग. आपको सिर्फ क्या करना है, पार्ट 3 of the Indian Constitution provides for the fundamental rights. And then you can write your body and then a conclusion. इसमें मैं इंट्रोडक्शन पे क्यों ध्यान दे रहा हूं? Why I am putting so much focus on the introduction? The reason for this is that introduction writing is equal to inertia. एक बार पेन चलने लगेगा ना, when you start writing, वो सबसे प्रॉब्लमेटिक चीज होती है मेंस में, पेन चलाना. Once you start writing, words start flowing, but you need that breakthrough in the introduction itself. क्या लिखें? So for 100 marks, the moment you have hold over your constitution, the schedules, the parts, the amendments, the articles, you will be able to write something or the other. Otherwise, what will happen? You will be stuck for 1-2 minutes unnecessarily. And 1-2 minutes compounded for 20 questions is 30 to 40 minutes. 30 से 40 मिनट जो है, your 30 to 40 minutes will be wasted here only. So that is why I am saying that for both polity and for prelims and for mains, polity is absolutely necessary. Okay, polity जो है वो क्या है, absolutely necessary है. All right. अब हम बात करते हैं कि पूरा इसमें कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो है आपका, उसमें क्या क्या है, what are the parts that you have to read. Okay, so we will start with the preamble. Was preamble the first thing that they have written? Is it obviously it is the introduction to the constitution, but was it the first thing? So what it was the last thing, yes or no? It was written at the last. It is mentioned at the first, but it was written at the last. Okay, so preamble is important. Then you have parts of the constitution. Okay, parts of the constitution. पार्ट्स के अंदर आपके आर्टिकल्स आपको देखने को मिल जाते हैं. यू सी द आर्टिकल्स, देन यू हैव शेड्यूल्स एंड द प्रियम्बल, द पार्ट्स which contains the articles and the schedule. These three, they make your entire constitution and you have to study each one of them. Schedule question had come directly in 2022. डायरेक्ट पूछ लिया कि बताइए 6th शेड्यूल में क्या होता है, व्हाट हैपेंस इन द 6th शेड्यूल. ऑप्शन 4 ऑप्शंस वेर देयर. Preamble, directly they asked that, okay, according to the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, what has been there, what has been included. Okay, they can also ask about the parts in 2024. In 2024, this year, or rather last year, directly they had asked that, okay, in the part 16, what is there? In the part 14, what is there? So this knowledge is very, very necessary. The students, they had sort of struggled, okay, they have sort of struggled with these types of questions because they have started reading from the book directly without taking reference of constitution. ये realization जो है, this realization can either come after 2-3 attempts or somebody can tell you beforehand. If this is your first attempt, this realization can come to you. Okay, if somebody can tell you this, otherwise it will be a painful process where you will curse yourself for losing out on lollipop questions, questions which could have been done very easily. You will be losing that. देखिए आप यहां पर एक बात समझिएगा. If UPSC is asking questions from polity, if it is asking for governance, that is another thing. They can ask anything, and then the polity section or the political science section, it becomes tough. What happened in 2023? They increased the number of questions in governance. Okay, prison act and all these things. So then that is something that can be covered from either the current affairs or you can leave. That is different thing. But I am saying in the polity section, क्या UPSC, can it go outside the constitution? Can it ask you from the Irish constitution or the can it ask from the Australian constitution? They will restrict themselves from to the Indian constitution. And once you have completed this, have confidence. I'll tell you one mistake that I made in 2021 prelims. I was thorough with the Indian constitution. I was thorough with the Indian constitution. I had read each and every article, and UPSC asked this very simple statement that RBI, okay, so Government of India, it gives direction to the RBI via the constitution. My first reaction to this question or this statement that Government of India gives direction to the RBI via the constitution, my first reaction was that I have not read in the constitution. I have read the entire thing, but it was not there. But I doubted myself. I doubted that हो सकता है मिस हो गया हो. Maybe I have gone through the entire constitution, but maybe I have missed it. But that was not the case. I had not missed it because it was not present. It is the RBI Act 1934, okay, जिसके अंदर, okay, जिसके अंदर it has the power, the government has the power to dictate RBI the terms. Whereas I second guessed myself that, okay, maybe I had missed something. So that is also necessary that if you had read something, not only in the constitution or the polity or governance, but this should be a lesson for history, economics, geography, environment, and even current affairs. That in all the sections, if you had read something, it is very important that you stick to it. Okay. You stick to whatever you have read. That is very, very necessary. All right. So what we can do right now is, can we take a class on the parts of the constitution? Okay.